The telephone has drastically transformed since it was invented, and there's one place that chronicles its evolution.
Hello, John Bartell here, making a little pit stop at the Roseville Telephone Museum.
In 1876, Alexander Graham Bell made history by making the world's first phone call, as seen here in this historical reenactment from the AT&T archive.
Mr. Watson, come here. I want you.
Though several inventors were working on voice transmission technology, it was Alexander Bell's phone patent that paved the way for modern, sophisticated phones of the future.
Oh man, look at that hip. He's making that hip action.
He dances and everything.
Well, Alexander Bell probably didn't foresee the king of rock and roll dancing on his invention, but as it happens, this is one of the many advancements in voice transmission that you'll see at the Roseville Telephone Museum.
This bottom row here, the trend line.
I remember this at Grandma's house, yeah.
Well, when it comes to odd telephone history, museum docent Dan Ross Kelly is your man.
Is that an ashtray on there?
There is an ashtray on there. A lot more people smoked in 1957 than they do now, and so they found the need to have an ashtray on your phone. That way you didn't have to move around very much.
Dan says in the beginning, phone companies provided customers with both the service and the phones, and they were a bit rudimentary and battery powered.
Just take it off the hook, you crank the handle, that is going to ring the bell at the operator, and then the operator will connect you to who you want to talk to.
Early phones were a bit hard to hear, requiring people to yell in the microphone, which led to a disgusting problem with public phones.
So the mouthpiece, called the spit catcher in some cases, would then be considered potentially a hazard to one's health.
Not only was the mouthpiece full of saliva, but they were also expensive for customers and profitable for phone companies, especially payphones.
They were bringing in close to $500,000 a month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
In the early days, payphone companies had monopolies on the market, controlling rates and types of phones people could talk on. That all changed, though, when the Telecommunication Act of 1996 happened.
They really got creative with phones.
Oh, they did. They did. After deregulation and customers were allowed to buy their own phones and plug them in to use them, that's when they started coming up with things like this.
Novelty phones were popular in the 1990s and 2000s, and with these new phones came new advancements in telephone transmission lines.
Miles and miles and miles, because every house would have to have a physical connection until they came up with fiber optic. This is fiber optic.
Fiber optic cables changed the industry again, leading to faster internet, broader use of Wi-Fi, and more cell phones, and eventually the end of Alexander Bell's landline telephone.
To know the way your ancestors did it is, to me, it's very special.
From the Roseville Telephone Museum, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the Backroads.